Exercise number one is just gonna be basic squats. If you can do a full depth squat, or even partial depth squat, you can do that comfortably to 10 without feeling to failure or you're putting in a rep. We're gonna go a little bit of weight first. I believe early on, kettlebells, your favorite, are the easiest thing to use here to progressively overload. This is literally just 8 to 10 pounds. Even 5 pounds is enough for some people, especially overload it. Carry it close to our chest. Squat position. Down. With the depth, this is probably as far as I can go. With the depth, we're going straight back. Come back up. Feel the failure. This is a crazy burner. Even just 5 pounds. Squats, even for me, are really hard movements. If you absolutely cannot stand squats or you cannot get the depth, one thing outside of mobility training to get the depth that I would recommend instead is a leg press. You're functionally getting the same compound movement without the added stability and mobility that a squat gives you. But functionally, to growing your legs, it is the same movement. I always start with a light weight on all of my workouts to get our initial rep rate, especially on any crazy compound leg movement where you're adding weight. Start low, then gradually increase. It always feels better to make a crazy jump because you undershot your strength compared to having to take weight off the bar because you overshot your strength. I'm only at 60 pounds right now to show you the full. So for the basic compound movement, we're going to want to place our feet like so. This is the feet positioning. We're gonna have both feet be somewhat separated, not too close, not too far. Then if we want to isolate our quads, we're gonna move them in a little bit closer, like this. And if we want to isolate more hamstring glutes, we're gonna move our squats a little bit farther out. Today, we're gonna do a basic mat, medium to close grip with our feet. We're gonna firmly grasp, we're gonna place our back straight and unrounded into the seat. You don't wanna be like this. You don't wanna be too arched because you'll be flat back into the seat to avoid injury. Gripping, pulling ourselves down. We're gonna take a deep breath in and lift. Exhaling the way up. There is nothing wrong with locking your knees here. This strengthens your knees, actually. The injuries that you see online with people ego lifting, and they're snapping at this movement. If you are slow on the eccentric, on the way up, your upper back all the way to here and slowly lock out, there's literally nothing wrong with this. Just obviously listen to your body, go slow, and never ever do this with high weights. Now we are on to my personal favorite leg workout in our routine. These are functionally just standing in for us. We're going to be doing RDLs. On RDLs, the main factor is going to be our glutes and our hamstrings. If you mainly feel it in your hamstrings versus glutes, that's okay. And you mainly feel it in the glutes rather than the hamstrings, that's okay. You do not want to be doing this in your quads, upper back, or nothing like that. It's not a deadlift, okay? So, starting form, shoulder blades apart, cover just shoulders down, shoulder blades retracted and down. Keep our grips in front of us, like this. Tight as possible to ourselves. Like so. I have a slight bend in the knees, and I'm gonna try to hinge at the hips, only moving by pushing my hips backwards to push something, almost. I'm pushing, and I'm keeping, my knuckles are dragging against my shins all the way down. And you should feel a deep stretch in your hamstrings or your glutes. And just hip thrust up. It's that simple. The only movement that is happening is in your hips. From the side, it's gonna look like this. Here, moving down the back, letting stance, knees bent, pull from up the hips, move back, move back, move back, move back, come back, come back, come back, going back. I'm not simply lowering the weight. I'm only moving by pushing my hips backwards and dragging the weight across my shins, getting a deep, 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 deep stretch in my hamstrings. In. That's some of the common mistakes that you see for the exercises, and saying that someone that has lower back pain, I'm going to show you the things to avoid to make this exercise not a pain for your lower back. There is always going to be some tension for your lower back because it's a stabilizing muscle. You're using the core, and the core wraps around here, of course. We're trying to make sure there's no tension on the spine to hurt you. So, number one is over here. We want to make sure that our shoulder blades are down and retracted. You want to be here, rounded forward. First, I bring my shoulder blades up and back, like this, and then drop them down. This is like the perfect, like, athletic stance for your scapular plane, which includes your spine. Then, when we keep the weights in front of us, this puts a load onto our lower back. The closer and tighter we keep the weights to us, the more it is just a stretch on the hamstrings. On our way down, if we are bending in the back at all, we're gonna feel it in our back, and the weights start to naturally fly forward. We don't want to keep our back arch, shoulder blades retracted, and back. Moving our hips back is slowly moving the weights down our shins, where I'm really dragging my knuckles across my shins. Keep our shoulder blades are down and retracted in our scapular plane. So wherever it's on form, we go take a step. This step, we want it to be a little bit longer, so we're targeting our glutes and our hamstrings rather than focusing on quads on this. This is not a squat. I'll put our foot forward and slowly come down. Come back up and step. The more you step out when you do a lunge, the more it targets your glutes and your hamstrings on the way up. The more you step in on a lunge, the more it targets your quads on the way up, which is a very weird movement for beginners. We're going to be taking longer steps in the beginning. You're just going to alternate each step about a yard between longer steps. You're alternating. Go out to this one, back up, go back to this one, back up. That's simple. Stay locked in. One more. I personally like to sector core into my leg workouts. Anything below here or not in the arms, to me, is lower. Abs usually get ignored by a lot of people, so I'm gonna show you that part of our day. So, we're gonna work on our obliques. Obliques are one of the best things to fill out your waist. You could be like an hourglass figure to some degree, but also, some people do not like working obliques because it makes them feel like they're not like, they want that V on their body. If you are scared of that, do not worry, because you have to literally be an insane freak to work your obliques out to the point where they're getting out like here. Doing them once on your leg days is not going to blow up your obliques. Your obliques are going to get strong. These are functional rotation in your spine, in your abdomen. Really important movements to just feel healthy on a day-to-day basis. So, technique for this, shoulder blades back, like always, the same cue every single time. Across my feet, open the ear, shoulder blades on the back, to the side, to the side, to the side, to the side. If you do not do any weight on this, I would do these first, non-weighted. Just simply here, and if you need to, you can have your feet under something, just going like this. You don't even need your feet off the ground. Just do simple spine rotations at first in. But then as you feel that your spine is getting more uncomfortable with these movements, you can go slow. Obviously, never snap with your spine. You're gonna be very slow and controlled. Once you feel that these movements are good and you feel comfortable in them with your lower back, we can start to take our feet off the ground, engage your core more. I always try to warm up as well, because this is the start, this is the end. So this is the stop, the finish of one rep. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what I personally do. You're getting both angles and there won't be any deficiencies. If you can barely do this with your feet down, but feeling some crazy pain in your spine, I would not do any more weight. Just slowly ease into this. Especially if you have a history of back pain, we want you to do this so you can start to build some more stability in your spine. If you just ignore it forever, it's eventually just gonna get worse and worse and worse. Stay locked in, we got this. Peace. No, I forgot to mention on this spine rotation, so when you're here and you're rotating any direction, you always turn your head in the direction your spine is facing. Your nose faces your spine. When you're facing forward and you turn, there's more spinal torque than there is if you go like this, like this, like this, like this. So, locked in, last exercise of our lower day. It's our only isolation, and then we work on our calves. Just like the idea with the forearm, how it's the only shown thing basically all the time in your physique, outside of like your neck, the future trainer as well. Our calves with our shorts. Some people have really underdeveloped calves. I'm low-key one of them. I also have really long calves. The way you train calves, in your calf raise machine, so most people have a standing one, which is infinitely better than what I'm using. The setup for this is a little bit uncomfortable, but it's going to be the same thing as our squat. This is a really low rep for weight, so you get a feel for it first. But it's going to be the same thing. I'm going to have my shoulder flat on the bench. My feet could be a little bit further, a little bit closer in. This one doesn't really do as much because you're still just targeting your calves. It's whatever feels more comfortable for you. But I'm going to grab the bar, put myself down and in, curve my back is on the seat, push up like this. So, when we're here, you're not going to be like this, how I just was. You're going to be in a neutral starting position of super deep stretch. And so next exercise, again, you can lock out your knees if this is a comfortable weight range. If it's not a comfortable weight range, I would keep a little bit of a bend in your knees. You're not minimizing gain in your calves by just having a slight bend in your knee for this. If it feels more comfortable and you don't feel safe locking out, don't lock out. But you want to have a calves on a deep stretch in a starting position. We do not want our calves to be flat like this, or ankles to be flat like this. We want a deep stretch. To start it, we're just going to squat, we're going to pull in, deep breath, send the guys up, send the guys up, come back. Send your guys up, and come back down. Send your guys up. Super simple. People neglect this very basic workout, and it seems kind of silly, like, oh, I'm gonna be working on my calves if I just move. Your calves are one of the most aesthetic things when they're built well, just like your forearms, and everyone sees them. So I'm not trying to fill out their frame. You want the most readily seen thing to be filled out. Your shoulders, your arms, your forearms, your calves, and your legs usually make people look way bigger than chest and abs. Chest can promote some side view, but if you're just in the sense of I want to look really big over my shoulders, or arms, or legs, do some compounds for the chest is not a priority. Lock in.